reconstruction, and recovery.
The Chief Emmanuel Road is one of the projects completed by the Imo State government within 1 year in office. In Owerri, Bright Ibuchu, NTA News.
The World Health Organization says there is a shocking imbalance in the global distribution of vaccines. The UN Health Agency Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said this while addressing newsmen in Geneva, Switzerland. Adebola Brooksling Sunday reports that the agency is calling on countries to support the COVAX facility.
COVAX facility is a WHO-led initiative aimed at ensuring equal access to COVID-19 vaccines by various countries. WHO Africa Regional Office had reported that Africa accounts for less than 2% of the vaccines administered globally so far, as many African countries have barely moved beyond the starting line. Addressing the news conference, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said it is 100 days since WHO issued a call for vaccinations to begin in all countries, adding that 26 out of the 200 countries are yet to begin the process.
More than 700 million vaccine doses have been administered globally, but over 87% have gone to high-income or upper-middle-income countries, while low-income countries have received just 0.2%. On average, in high-income countries, almost 1 in 4 people has received a vaccine. In low-income countries, it's 1 in more than 500. Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 versus 1 in 500.
The WHO chief said bilateral arrangements to deliver COVID-19 vaccines run the risk of fanning the flames of vaccines inequality, which could derail efforts to contain the pandemic on the continent amid threats posed by a third wave of infections. Adebola Brooksling Sunday, NTA News.
Leveraging the gains of the just completed ECOWAS Parliament extraordinary session in Freetown, Sierra Leone, the regional legislature is pushing the case for women empowerment further towards equity and inclusion in all sectors of society. The meeting of ECOWAS Parliament Joint Committee on Social Affairs, Gender and Promotion of Women, Education, Science and Culture, and Health in Monrovia, Liberia, will articulate the role of women in the development of West Africa vis-a-vis the need for their participation in leadership to achieve regional integration, peace, security, good governance, and socio-economic development. Speaker Sidi Mohammed Tunis will lead members of parliament from across West Africa to the localized meeting scheduled for April 17, 2021, the outcome of which will be presented to plenary for further legislative action. More than 2,000 persons are expected to be accommodated at the Ebute Metta Mega Station of the Lagos-Ibadan rail line. Ministry of Transportation Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, on a monthly inspection tour, called for speedy completion of the station. Oni Oyinaya Kalu Oka reports.
The 157-kilometer double-track Lagos-Ibadan rail line has 10 stations located in the 3 states of Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo. All the 3 stations are modern, but the state-of-the-art mega station in Ebute Metta has been described as magnificent, with capacity to take more than 2,000 passengers at the waiting hall at a time. All facilities are ready for use. At the inspection tower, Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, was impressed with the level of work.
No, it's not. See, yeah, it's not. Why not? Are you sure the chillers? Well, by the time we came here last night, it was ready. If the agreement with the president were by now we have finished. By now, what I agreed with the president was to put their commission this month of April.
Work at the Papa Port Station is at advanced stage as the minister called on contractors to speed up completion. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
Digitization is the global revolution in broadcasting that stakeholders in communication and broadcasting industry must embrace to be at par with global best practices. Former Director General, National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), Yomi Bolariwa, stated this in a lecture at the inauguration of Olumayo Waidowu of the Nigerian Television Authority as third chairman Abeokuta chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. Lekon Bode reports. Bring you details of that report in our subsequent bulletin. Ahead of the rollout of the second phase of digital switchover from analog to digital broadcasting on 29th April, the management of the NTA has expressed interest in digitalizing Nta Abeokuta for a seamless 21st century digital broadcasting. The Executive Director, Engineering, Moses Opanachi, stated this during his inspection visit to the station in Abeokuta. Yemi Dalemo reports.
The Executive Director, Engineering Services, Moses Opanachi, who was received at Ogbe office by the management of Nta Abeokuta, led by the General Manager, Fumi Wakama, was later conducted rounds of operational facilities at the Transmission Center in Okegunya. Accompanied by former Director General of National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), Yomi Bolariwa, the Executive Director Engineering expressed satisfaction with the facilities he met on ground and promised to submit a report on the need to include Nta Abeokuta in the second phase rollout of the switchover project to the management of NTA in Abuja for consideration. He commended the ingenuity of the station's General Manager, Fumi Wakama, in turning things around, especially a role in approaching private individuals and organizations in providing basic amenities like portable water, operational vehicles, among others, for the station. The effort, he noted, have assisted the station to perform its social responsibility optimally. The station's General Manager, Fumi Wakama, while appreciating the EDE for the visit, commended the leading role NTA is playing in the digital switchover project by the federal government and expressed conviction that its total execution will add value to quality signal and transmission of good content devoid of interference and high energy consumption. She assured Nigerians of good quality programs from NTA, both in terms of news and programs contents, without leaving out entertainment and sports. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
This is the news at 7 on Nta Abeokuta. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Nta Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
Broadcasting that stakeholders in communication and broadcasting industry must embrace global best practices. Former Director General, Nigeria National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), Yomi Bolariwa, stated this at a lecture at the inauguration of Olumayo Waidowu of the Nigerian Television Authority as third chairman Abeokuta chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. Lekon Bode reports.
So help me God.
The host taking around the tenure of Mr. Olumayowa Idowu as the new chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, Abeokuta, and subsequently the swearing in of the executive committee members and induction of 5 new members of the institute. The guest speaker, Yomi Bolariwa, who spoke on the theme Digital Broadcasting, an imperative in the digital age, said the ICT-driven digital era calls for total digital switch over and total analog switch off, and the broadcasting industry can never be the same again.
We are compliant. We are already doing digital transmission. But it's on the terrestrial platform that we have issues. And I'm sure gradually we will get there. You must realize that if you go to the market today, you can find television set, but you cannot find set-top box. And until everybody can walk into a shop and price and buy set-top box, we will still have issues.
In solidarity for one of their own, the NTA family came to give support to the new chairman and the Director General NTA, represented by the Executive Director Engineering NTA, Stephen Moses of Panachi, says the African largest television network has taken the lead in exploring the new era to tell Nigerian story with Nigerian voice through its various channels across the states and community stations.
As a national broadcaster, our major objective will take cognizance of the population of Nigeria, different tribes, different culture, different religion, different ethnic and social norms. How will you now want to use one channel to address the needs of the Nigerian? It's only the digital technology that can give flexibility. In other words, you have various community television transmitting and producing programs relevant to the needs and the wishes of the people within that locality.
Dignitaries at the event expressed confidence in the newly inaugurated chairman to take the institute to the highest level.
Rest assured that you have our full support always. I trust that you will continue to work for the improvement of your institute and, of course, the Nigerian Television Authority, and take us all to great heights.
I believe we will begin to see the manifestation of the high-flying and dynamic chapter under the leadership of the Olumaya Waidu.
The new chairman, Olumaya Waidu, promised to take up the gauntlet and take the institute forward.
Our first plan is to organize the first Power Energy Summit in the state, where we look at energy issue as a whole. We intend to do this in collaboration with Ogun State Bureau of Electrical Engineering Services, and we'll look at this issue critically and we'll provide solutions. Another challenge that we're having is membership drive. We intend to do this through networking. We've started through informative network system.
The event also witnessed presentation of awards to some distinguished personalities. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbode, NC News.
A decentralized policing system in Nigeria has been described as the sure way to confront headlong the current security challenges the country is facing. Governor Boyega Oyetola made the submission at the annual colloquium of the Sultan Masido Institute for Peace, Leadership and Development Studies. Joshua Ogunjide reports.
Governor Abeokuta, who was the guest lecturer for this year's annual colloquium of the Sultan Machido Institute for Peace and Development Studies, x-rayed the country's security challenges and emphasized that the centralized policing system could no longer meet the current realities, while acknowledging the efforts of the federal government through the police at establishing community police. Governor Abeokuta noted that the constitutional provision that assigned the role of Chief Security Officer to the governors will be more appropriate to provide corresponding power and control of the security to the governors to enable them live up to their responsibility effectively.
For proper security of lives and property of our people and the prompt containment of growing challenges, we must inevitably now engage our traditional institutions. Governors particularly cannot afford not to look in the direction of the traditional institutions. This is because every conflict is local, and as such, traditional institutions cannot be left out of the scheme.
The governor, who described security as the main facilitator of sustainable economic development and good governance, explained that the Southwest Neighborhood Security Network Code, named Amotekun, is how to complement the conventional security agencies to effectively tackle armed banditry, kidnapping, and armed robbery. Joshua Wuchidi, NT News.
And that concludes Channel 12 News. I'm Ayala Balogun. Good night.